Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something Jim Rohn said that can shake your entire life in one moment. Everybody is searching for the secret, but very few are practicing the basics, and that's the problem. We keep looking for a magic formula, a special trick, a hidden shortcut, when the truth is, success has no secret door. It has an open gate, and most people walk right past it. We scroll through videos hoping one line will change everything. We buy new planners, new books, new courses, hoping the next one will finally fix us. But Jim Rohn reminds us that what truly changes you is not new information, but a new decision. A decision to finally take responsibility, to finally be consistent, to finally show up even when you don't feel like it. You already know what to do. You know you need discipline. You know you need habits. You know you need to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. The secret isn't hidden, it's ignored. Success is earned quietly in the hours when no one is watching, when the excitement is gone, when motivation fades and only commitment is left standing. Stop asking, what's the secret? Start asking, am I doing what I already know works? Because the day you stop searching for shortcuts is the day you stop delaying your destiny. The moment you realize success is built, not found, you become unstoppable. Success doesn't come from discovering a hidden secret. It comes from finally committing to the simple principles we already know but avoid. If you think deeply about this idea, it exposes one of the biggest truths about human behavior. We already have enough knowledge to change our lives, but we lack the discipline to follow through. Most people don't fail because they're missing information. They fail because they're missing application. Jim Rohn always emphasized that life doesn't respond to what you know, it responds to what you do. And this is exactly why so many people remain stuck, even though the world is full of advice, books, podcasts, and mentors at every corner. Think about it for a moment. Every one of us knows that discipline creates results. Every one of us knows that consistency beats intensity. We all know that reading, saving, working on skills, improving our health, waking up early, staying focused. These are not mysteries. Nobody needs a secret formula to understand that growth requires effort. But effort is uncomfortable, and the human mind is always searching for the path of least resistance. So instead of acting on the basics, we look for something special, hoping that maybe there is an easier way, a faster solution, a magical shortcut that will save us from the discomfort of discipline. This mindset keeps people trapped for years. They move from one motivational video to another, one strategy to another, one mentor to another, hoping to hear something that will instantly transform them. But transformation does not happen in an instant. It happens over months and years of repetition. And repetition is not exciting. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make you feel smart. It simply works. That is why the fundamentals matter more than anything else. The fundamentals are the foundation, and no building can rise if the foundation is ignored. When Jim Rohn said that the basics are easy to do but also easy not to do, he was describing the entire human struggle. Eating healthy is easy to understand, but easy not to do. Reading 10 pages a day is easy to do, but easy not to do. Saving a small amount of money is easy to do, but easy not to do. Working on a new skill every day is easy to do, but also easy not to do. That easy not to do becomes the silent killer of dreams. It sneaks into your routine, convinces you that skipping today doesn't matter, and before you know it, skipping becomes your new habit. The consequences arrive slowly, but they always arrive. On the other side, when you finally commit to the basics, something powerful happens. You begin to build momentum. Momentum doesn't come from big actions. It comes from small actions done consistently. One day of discipline doesn't change your life, but 30 days of discipline begins to shift your identity. 90 days changes your habits. 1 year changes your results. 5 years changes your entire reality. People underestimate how much progress they can make simply by sticking to the fundamentals without constantly searching for new shortcuts. Another important truth is that the basics reveal who you really are. When you stick to simple daily habits, reading, exercising, planning your day, practicing gratitude, improving your skills, you are not just improving your performance, you are reshaping your character. You're teaching yourself responsibility, patience, self-respect, and self-control. These qualities matter far more than any secret strategy, because strategies change with time, but character stays with you forever. A strong character turns you into a person who can adapt, overcome, and outlast any difficulty. People often say, "If I just knew the secret, I would succeed." But look at the most successful people in history. None of them relied on a secret. They relied on habits. They relied on discipline. They relied on consistency. They mastered the boring things that others avoided. They controlled their time, their energy, their priorities. They kept learning. They kept improving. They kept moving forward even when progress was slow. Their success wasn't magical, it was intentional. The truth is, the idea of a secret is attractive because it allows us to avoid responsibility. If success depended on a hidden formula, then we could say, "I'm not successful because I haven't found it yet." But when you accept that success is built on simple principles, you also accept that your progress is entirely in your hands. That realization is powerful, but also uncomfortable. It forces you to stop making excuses and start making choices. Once you commit to the fundamentals, your life begins to change in ways you didn't expect. You start noticing opportunities you once ignored. You become more confident because you're keeping promises to yourself. You become more focused because you're no longer distracted by every new idea. You become more capable, more disciplined, more intentional. These inner changes eventually lead to outer changes. Better work, better results, better relationships, better habits, better direction in life. So the first keynote teaches a simple but life-changing message. Stop searching for something new and start strengthening what you already know. The power you're looking for is not hiding in some secret formula. It's already in your hands, waiting to be activated by consistency, discipline, and courage. Most people chase shortcuts because discipline feels uncomfortable, but the moment you embrace consistency, life begins to change. This keynote goes straight to the heart of human behavior, because almost everyone wants improvement, yet very few are willing to endure the steady, repetitive work required to achieve it. Discipline sounds powerful in theory, but in reality it looks like early mornings, saying no to distractions, resisting excuses, and choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. And that is where most people quietly step back. They don't reject success, they reject the discomfort that creates it. Think about the natural tendency of the human mind. We search for the easiest path. We want results without resistance, rewards without effort, breakthroughs without sacrifice. That's why shortcuts are so tempting. Shortcuts give the illusion of progress without requiring the real price. A new hack, a new method, a new routine, people jump from one idea to another, hoping each new thing will finally be the one that makes everything easy. But the truth is that shortcuts have a common pattern. They keep you busy but not committed. They make you feel like you're improving while keeping you far from the real work that actually produces transformation. The discomfort of discipline is what separates dreamers from achievers. Discipline demands repetition. It demands holding yourself accountable even when no one is watching. It demands that you show up even on days when you don't feel motivated or excited. This is hard, and nobody denies it. But once you stop running from this discomfort and accept it as part of growth, something dramatic begins to shift inside you. The resistance starts to fade, and what was once painful becomes normal. Discomfort stops being the enemy and becomes the doorway to progress. Consistency is where the real magic happens, not intensity, not perfection. Consistency. A little progress made every day compounds into massive progress over time. Most people underestimate the power of small actions because they look insignificant at first. Reading 10 pages doesn't make you smarter in one day. Saving a little money doesn't make you rich in 1 month. Exercising for 20 minutes doesn't transform your health in 1 week. These actions seem too small to matter, so people ignore them. But consistency multiplies those small actions until they become habits, and habits become identity. And once an action becomes tied to your identity, you no longer struggle to do it. You do it because it's who you are. Many people say they want success, but their actions reveal that they want convenience more than transformation. Discipline asks you to choose the harder path today in exchange for an easier life later. Shortcuts offer you an easier path today, but lead to a harder life later. Every successful person eventually reaches a moment when they understand this. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. When you choose discipline, you are not choosing struggle. You are choosing freedom, strength, and a future you are proud of. When someone finally embraces consistency, their self-image grows. They start trusting themselves. They stop breaking promises to themselves. Every time you stick to a habit, you send yourself a message: I am capable, I am reliable, I follow through. These small internal victories build confidence more powerful than any motivational speech. Confidence doesn't come from believing you can do everything. It comes from proving to yourself that you can do small things repeatedly. And once that confidence grows, you become unstoppable. Consistency also clears your mind. When you chase shortcuts, you scatter your energy across many directions. When you choose discipline, you focus your energy. You stop getting distracted by shiny new ideas. You stop wasting time on temporary solutions. You commit to one path long enough to actually see results. This kind of focus changes your productivity, your mindset, and your emotional stability. You stop feeling rushed and start feeling in control. Another powerful truth is that consistency eventually creates momentum. Momentum is when small actions start producing bigger outcomes. It's when the hours you invested months ago suddenly begin to pay off. It's when people look at your progress and think you changed overnight, when in reality, you changed over countless unnoticed days. Momentum is a reward that only disciplined people experience, and once it kicks in, progress feels smoother, faster, and more natural. Jim Rohn often said that success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by becoming the person who deserves it. Discipline is what shapes you into that person. Consistency is what keeps you growing into that person. Success isn't something you chase. It's something you build brick by brick, habit by habit, day after day. So when people say they're waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect plan, they are really avoiding the uncomfortable truth. Discipline must start before motivation arrives. You act first and motivation comes later. The moment you stop chasing shortcuts and accept the discomfort of discipline is the moment your life begins to shift from wishful thinking to real progress. Once you embrace consistency, your results stop being accidental and start becoming intentional. The real power is not in new information, but in applying old wisdom with new intensity every day. This idea may sound simple, yet it challenges one of the biggest misconceptions people carry about success. Most believe they need something new, a new strategy, a new secret, a new revelation to finally change their life. But history shows that breakthroughs rarely come from new knowledge. They come from acting on timeless principles that people already know but rarely practice. Jim Rohn emphasized that what changes your life is not what you learn. It is what you do with what you learn. And this truth is deeper than it seems. We are living in a world overflowing with information. Thousands of books, courses, videos, and mentors are just one click away. Anyone can learn a skill, understand a concept, or gather knowledge instantly. Yet more people are confused, overwhelmed, and stuck than ever before. Why? Because information without action becomes noise. It creates the illusion of progress instead of progress itself. People keep learning but never applying. They collect wisdom but never activate it. They wait for inspiration instead of building discipline, and because of this, their life remains exactly the same. Old wisdom is powerful because it has already been tested across time, cultures, generations, and circumstances. Principles like discipline, consistency, honesty, hard work, humility, gratitude, and responsibility have shaped the lives of millions. They are not theories. They are truths proven again and again. But people ignore them for one simple reason. They seem too simple to matter. They aren't exciting. They aren't dramatic. They don't feel like shortcuts, and that's why they get overlooked. Applying old wisdom requires maturity. It requires you to stop searching for magic and start embracing mastery. Mastery is built on repetition, routine, and refinement. You don't master a principle by hearing it once. You master it by living it every day. Think about how athletes become great. They don't invent new exercises every week. They perfect the same basic movements for years. Think about musicians. They don't learn a new instrument every day. They practice the same scales, chords, and techniques repeatedly until they become second nature. Greatness is built on simplicity, not complexity. When you apply old wisdom with new intensity, you stop treating your goals like wishes and start treating them like commitments. For example, everyone knows reading is good, but how many people read daily? Everyone knows saving money is important, but how many consistently do it? Everyone knows health matters, but how many stick to a routine long enough for it to transform their life? The difference between knowing and doing is where success is created. Knowing is comfort, doing is power. Jim Rohn famously said, "What's simple to do is also simple not to do." This is the silent struggle of life. Small habits don't feel urgent, so they're easy to ignore. Old wisdom doesn't feel revolutionary, so it's easy to postpone. But small steps accumulated over time create massive shifts. When you finally give intensity to simple principles, your life begins to move in a direction you never imagined. Intensity doesn't mean working harder for a week. It means committing deeper in your mind. It means taking the principles you've always known, discipline, learning, patience, focus, and giving them a level of importance you've never given before. It's like watering a plant every day. At first, nothing seems to happen, but after weeks and months, the roots strengthen, the stem rises, and the plant becomes unshakable. The growth was happening silently the whole time. You just couldn't see it. Life works the same way. Another important part of applying old wisdom is removing the need for perfection. People hesitate to take action because they want the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect clarity. But success doesn't come from perfection. It comes from progression. When you take what you already know and begin practicing it, even imperfect, the momentum builds, and momentum is far more valuable than the illusion of perfection. Old wisdom reminds you to focus on what matters and ignore what distracts you. Most new ideas are just different versions of the same principles you've heard before. New methods may look exciting, but principles outlast methods. A new strategy may help temporarily, but timeless wisdom helps forever. When you anchor your life in these principles, you become stable, centered, and grounded. You become someone who doesn't seek motivation. You generate it. You don't wait for clarity. You create it. As you apply old wisdom with new intensity, something remarkable happens inside you. Your identity evolves. You begin to see yourself as capable, disciplined, responsible, and deserving of success. Your confidence grows not because someone inspired you, but because you inspired yourself with your actions. You stop depending on external motivation and start relying on internal commitment. This shift in identity is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. So the power you're searching for is not in something new. It's already within reach, already in your possession, already in the principles you've heard your entire life. The real transformation begins the moment you stop searching for more knowledge and start maximizing the knowledge you already have. The moment you take old wisdom and apply it with renewed passion, discipline, and consistency, you begin to unlock a version of yourself you may have never met before. And now, let me speak directly to you. Yes, you sitting there, scrolling, thinking, waiting, hoping. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow, I'll begin next week. I just need one more piece of advice, one more secret, one more shortcut"? Stop it right now. This is the moment you stop waiting and start acting. This is the moment you stop searching and start applying. You've been chasing illusions for far too long. You've been asking for answers that already exist in your own hands. The question is, will you finally use them? Will you finally do the work that you've always known matters? Imagine for a second the life you want. Visualize it clearly. See it in vivid detail, the freedom, the respect, the opportunities, the peace, the pride you feel every time you look in the mirror knowing you built it. Now realize something powerful. This life is not a gift. It is not a lottery. It is not a secret waiting to be discovered. This life is earned. It is built brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision, and the bricks. They're the small, consistent actions that you've ignored because they weren't exciting. They were too simple. They were uncomfortable. They required patience. They required discipline. They required courage. Let me tell you a truth that nobody will say loud enough for you to hear. Discomfort is your friend. Every time you resist temptation to quit, every time you force yourself to keep going when your energy is low, every time you do what you know is right even when it's hard, you are strengthening the foundation of your future. You are forging a life that cannot be taken away by circumstance, by setbacks, by failure. You are building yourself into a person capable of greatness. Do you hear me? You are building you, and that is the only power you truly need. Stop blaming lack of opportunity. Stop blaming lack of resources. Stop blaming lack of talent. Stop blaming anyone, including yourself, for why you are not yet the person you want to be. Jim Rohn said it best. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But let me expand that for you. You are also the product of the decisions you make when nobody is watching. You are the product of the habits you refuse to skip. You are the product of the small commitments you keep every day, even when the world does not notice. Your results, your happiness, your success, every single part of it depends on the actions you are taking right now. Ask yourself this: if not now, when? If not you, who? If not this, then what are you waiting for? Stop searching for another secret. Stop looking for a shortcut. Stop hoping for a sudden miracle. The miracle is in you. The magic is in your consistency, your persistence, your courage, your willingness to embrace the simple principles that everyone else ignores because they are uncomfortable. These principles are not complicated, they are not glamorous, they are not flashy, but they are eternal, they are unstoppable, and they are your ticket to the life you've always dreamed of. Let me tell you a story. Imagine 2 people with the same goal. One of them waits for inspiration, waits for the perfect plan, waits for motivation to strike. The other one begins. The other one starts small, maybe awkwardly, maybe imperfectly, but starts anyway. 1 year later, who do you think has more progress? 1 year later, who do you think has learned, grown, and transformed? The person who started, not the person who waited. And that's why the first step matters more than all the knowledge in the world. Because action, no matter how small, trumps inaction every single time. Now, I want you to imagine the consequences of continuing the way you are. Imagine another year of searching for shortcuts, of hoping for inspiration, of waiting for the secret. What will you have to show for it? Another year of excuses, another year of frustration, another year of dreams deferred and potential wasted. Can you feel that weight of regret pressing on your chest? You do not have to live that way. You can change course today. You can break the cycle today. You can commit to your fundamentals today. And here's the beautiful truth: it's not too late. Every day is a chance to reset. Every moment is a chance to begin again. You can take everything you've learned, the lessons, the principles, the wisdom, and apply it with fresh intensity starting right now. Start reading, start saving, start practicing, start improving, start taking responsibility, start showing up, start becoming the person who deserves the life you dream of. Start creating the future you've been hoping for. Start today. The secret is simple. The secret is the same secret Jim Rohn and every great achiever has taught. The secret is to show up. The secret is to do the work. The secret is to live the principles you already know. The secret is to commit, persist, and never quit. And here's the best part. The more you embrace it, the more unstoppable you become. The more you embrace it, the more energy you gain. The more you embrace it, the more doors open, opportunities arrive, and your confidence grows. Success is not a gift. It is a reflection of your actions, your decisions, your persistence, and your courage. So I challenge you, no, I dare you, stop waiting, stop searching, stop hoping for some magical shortcut. Stop dreaming about what could be. Start doing what you know is right. Take the principles you've ignored, the habits you've postponed, the wisdom you've collected but never applied, and breathe life into them. Apply them with intensity, consistency, and passion. Watch as your small daily victories compound into massive results. Watch as your character transforms. Watch as your life aligns with your highest potential. Remember this. Every second you wait is a second wasted. Every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. The time is now. The power is within you. The principles are simple, but their impact is extraordinary. The path is right in front of you, not hidden in some secret. The journey will be challenging, yes. It will test you, push you, and demand more than you think you have. But here's the truth. The person you become on that journey will be stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. And that person will finally experience the success you've been chasing all along. So take a deep breath, look at yourself in the mirror, and say it aloud. I am done waiting. I am done searching. I will do the work. I will commit. I will persist. I will apply the principles I know. I will become the person I need to be. I will build my future. I will earn my success. That is not just a statement. That is a declaration. That is a turning point. That is the moment your life changes forever. Step into it. Start now. Show up. Do the work. And watch as everything you've ever dreamed of begins to unfold before your eyes.